Radical.
GameStop has released an official statement taking it to the trolls, or at least what they would call the critics of GameStop. There's this trend, whether it's a company, whether it's a YouTuber, whenever somebody, I've seen it year after year, when somebody gets rightly criticized for something they're doing that's wrong, unethical, or just, in the case of GameStop's trade-in value, just very questionable as to how much they offer for your trade-ins. Well, when that happens, any of the people that are rightly criticizing GameStop, or let's say a YouTuber like, oh, I don't know, Mr. John Hancock. If you've been here for a while, you know who John Hancock is. So if you don't, you might wonder, why is this guy bringing up John Hancock? I clicked on this to find out about GameStop and their trade-in stuff going on. Well, you see, John Hancock is a YouTuber that about 5-10 years ago, a long time ago, had this idea, this dream set in motion that he's going to make this game museum. And this person, through the years, collected lots of game donations and all kind of stuff related to the building and the putting together of this mythical game museum. There's probably not going to be an update for 2025, but I've updated every single year on this game museum, and John has been criticized for talking about this game museum that actually, honestly, let's be honest, never going to happen. Well, GameStop, actually, is doing what John Hancock did to me and several others years ago, just calling these critics, you guys are trolls. You're all just trolls. Radical Rick, see, he's the main troll. I was actually called the main troll once, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. My memory's kind of fuzzy. But you see, there are trolls out there. There are definitely trolls. But in the case of GameStop's trade-in program, I think we can all agree it's pretty terrible for the actual person trading it in. For instance, many people will point to Battlefield, the new Battlefield game, how it's, $60, $70, I believe, and they offer a trade-in value on it used for $20-some. Now, this is a brand new game, and they turn around and sell that trade-in back for, I think, $60? Maybe $55? And this is a brand new game, right? So, I mean, it's their company. They can do what they want to do. But that is a very, very shitty trade-in value. If it's, I mean, they're running a business. Yeah, okay. But you see how that's open to criticism. And I've even talked about how much they offer for PlayStation 4s and Xbox Ones. And it's far, far, far below what they actually sell these items for. That's the criticism of basically their trade-in program. Now, they came out. Sorry, it took too long to actually get to this statement. I just wanted to go into a couple things, like the John Hancock stuff. Partly because I don't think this year there's going to be any update on the game museum. Sorry to let a lot of you people down, but I just don't have... I don't have any updates. I don't have anyone in the know. It's honestly really nothing, so I can't really do anything there. But here, this is something I can talk about. This is something that's actually happening. GameStop, unlike the John Hancock Game Museum, actually exist in real life, not just in people's minds and in their wishes and their dreams and fantasies. GameStop says that, GameStop says on December 1st, 2025, at 2:30 in Grapevine, Texas. I like how they even put the time in there. December 1st, 2:30 p.m. A customer traded in a fully authenticated PSA 10 Holo Gengar with a fair market valuation of $33,883. Yeah, these Pokemon cards ain't messing around. For some fucking reason, these Pokemon cards are so pricey, some of them. It seems like a damn joke to me, but okay, whatever. Upon completion of all required inspection, verification, and compliance procedures, GameStop executed a payout of $30,494.70, issued in accordance with the established terms and conditions governing the Power Packs buyback program. I'm not going to explain it fully, but basically they have this situation, GameStop, where they open packs, and it's kind of like a system where they put the cards on. It's kind of like somewhat of a gambling system and like loot boxes or something, but that's their Power Packs program. This event now constitutes the most valuable single trade-in ever recorded in the history of GameStop. Here's the part where he really kind of takes it to the critics, or as they would call the trolls. Furthermore, any trolls who publicly claim that GameStop trade-in values are bad are hereby factually and demonstrably incorrect. Any prior and ongoing objections to our trade values are now deemed without merit and factually invalid. Man, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. That would be like a car dealership giving you a deal on one vehicle, right? Hey, this 1-year-old used Nissan Versa, we'll sell this to you for like $15,000. Only 20K miles on the clock. How about that? And then posting that as an amazing deal while also having new vehicles at $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. Just because one thing happens, it does not mean everything else has not happened. But they're actually laughably trying to call out the trolls, they call them, for criticizing the stupidly low trade-in values at GameStop for your game stuff. Some of you that have tried to actually take something and trade it into GameStop, you know what I'm talking about. And it's just an ongoing meme, a joke, when people have a giant game collection by saying, hey, GameStop will offer about $10, $15 for all of that. Linking back, hell, if John Hancock himself would go to GameStop with all of his collection that he's totally going to put in a museum one day, they might offer him $100 for his entire collection. So, Johnny boy, if you ever sell off your collection, try not to take it to GameStop. That's the last place you want to go. Unless you have Pokemon cards. You might as well just call this fucking place Pokestop at this point. Because ain't no damn way any video game is going to be turned in unless it's, maybe the NES game, Stadium Events or something like that. Ain't no video game going to be turned in for $30,000. A little bit over $30,000. Now, my question, I can't, in all these articles I'm reading about this, I cannot find if it's a direct cash payout. It claims here in the statement it's a direct cash payout. I can't find if it's a cash payout or trade-in value. Because whoever's trading this in, I gotta tell you, unless you're a huge fan of little action figurines or Funko Pops, you're going to have to trade it in for $30,000 worth of Batman and Venom and Stranger Things Funko Pops. That's what you're going to have to get back in the trade-ins. Because that's all they have in the stores now, really, honestly, if you've been into a GameStop here recently. But I believe it was a cash payout, right? So, what do you think? By doing this cash payout for also the evaluation of this card was actually $3,000 more. So some people can criticize that they undercut this guy on the cash out, but I think that's not a big deal if it's $3,000 off because, it's one card and they're paying out over $30,000 for one Holo 10 Ginger or whatever the fuck that thing's name is, right? It's just stupid, man. It is. This is not a situation where you actually have rarity because it's a rare item in many cases. It's not the rarity like, oh man, I got a Magic Johnson or a Larry Bird or a Michael Jordan rookie card, Gem Mint 10. No, it's not nothing like that. It's because the Pokemon, it's a license to print money. That's what it is, man. It's just a scheme. It's just stupid, man. It really is. And I don't get how so many people don't see that the Pokemon, I'm not going to say craze because it's lasted longer than a short craze. You got people like leveraging and doing everything in their life to get certain cards, making investments, maybe selling off some vehicles and downscaling because you want to get a fucking Charizard or some shit. That is so financially irresponsible, I would say. But that's just me. I don't see it, man. Like, I don't understand how these little stinking weird looking creatures on card stock should be worth how much is, I'm trying to look it up here. How much is the one that Logan Paul has swinging around his neck? It was like a $5 million card or some shit. Ain't no Pokemon card worth $5 million. Meanwhile, let me see. I got a couple Pokemon cards over here. Now, hey, if I had one though, man, if I accidentally had one that was in 10 mint condition, you think I'm keeping that? Fuck no. If I have $1 million Pokemon card, I'm selling that shit and buying so much shit and laughing all the way to the bank. Literally, I will be laughing. As I sell this to someone, I would be laughing like, you dumb motherfucker, you're paying me $1 million for a little piece of cardboard with a little stupid character on it? Okay, I know this is going to trigger some Pokemon fans. Okay, get over it. Get over it. It's not like these are the most amazingly artistically drawn creatures of all time, right? We're not talking about art pieces. We're talking about a little kid's game where you throw your Pokeball and you catch things and you have Ash and you Team Rocket and they're blasting off and all kind of shit. Okay, all right, I get it. It's popular with a lot of people. I probably like some things that honestly might be, to some people, they might see it as kind of stupid. Fair enough. But even the biggest Pokemon fan has to agree that at some point, this Pokebubble, right? This Pokebubble shot out of the shell of the Bulbasaur, I'm pretending like I know about the Pokemons, is going to do this number. It's going to pop one day, okay? So yeah, I wonder if this is going to mean there's a flood of people now taking all their Pokemon cards to GameStop to trade in. Hey, maybe if you have a Pokemon card, you can take it to Trade Anything Day, right? Which is coming up. I don't know, when's that coming up? Speaking of, are any of you actually just going to go to a GameStop, just kind of hang out and just kind of look around to see if there's any crazy trade-ins, even if you don't want to bring something in, and just kind of document it, I wonder if the GameStop man is going to be, no, excuse me, man. I wonder if the GameStop man is going to be coming back on Trade Anything Day. And maybe her trade-in item will be her smelly jock strap.